Buffer? Please do us the honors.
In the south of Metropolis, the urban wasteland, we have the Terran King. He is known as Marineking Prime. And in the top part of the map, we have the Zergy one, just coming off of a loss on Cloud Kingdom. He is Empire Violet.
All right, you're just having too much fun now, QXC. You went too crazy with that. I cannot let you call him the Zergy guy, man.
Why? Come on.
Would Bruce Buffer do that? That's who you're channeling.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
Really.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just have to call you Mr. Riley from now on.
I'm speaking to my inner chi. That's what I'm channeling out.
There you go.
That's how I would talk normally if it didn't make my throat hurt so much.
Gotcha. Yeah, Kevin, you just talk in your head all day?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It's cool.
What do you talk to yourself about?
Usually about how to win.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It works out?
I mean, have you seen me win?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you are QXC. I have heard of you before.
That's
so.
where that came from.
Did it really?
The inner monologue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're like, they know who I am. See, they're looking at me because they know who I am.
He's got to know who I am. You've probably heard of me, right? And he's like, no.
All right, so actually a little bit different play here from Marineking. Open this up as we do see the racks first. Past two games, we did see that command center first coming down from the Terran King, as you so eloquently put. And for Violet, I believe, yes, he did go for that hatch first play. So with this style of play, what is Marineking looking to do?
So what he wants to do probably is fake some kind of 2 racks pressure. That's pretty common with this kind of build. And then he's going to just build his command center probably down at his natural. There's a lot of different ways you can transition out of it, though. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for fast Hellion or a bunch of barracks. But he does want to clean this drone up.
Oh!
That's really good for Marineking, because pretty much if that drone starts building the extractor and he sees Marines attacking it, then he knows there's no Marines pressuring his base.
Right.
But now Violet doesn't have that information, so we might have to build a couple of Lings just to be safe.
Now, with this Hellion opening, I mean, it's so common in this matchup. And there's so many different ways to really do it. You can stop at 2, you can go upwards of 4 and really just stick outside, right outside the main, keep your opponent kind of contained early on. Or you can just go upwards and wrap it up, even going as far as Blue Flame. What, in your opinion, is the best style of it?
The best?
Yeah.
That's a tough question. I'm always in favor of pressuring without over-committing. So I like to do Hellions with Marauders, and you can do a pressure with that. You can do Hellions into Bio. I definitely like making at least 6, and that basically is really hard for Zerg to deflect with just Speedlings. And then beyond that, I think you might be over-committing a little bit too much.
Well,
so is that a factory? That is a factory. Yep. So I'm actually surprised Marineking's not building a reactor right away.
Yeah, he does have the gas for it.
Right, so he may be...
I think he's going to... Well,
there's the reactor.
There it
so
is.
he just wanted that 1 extra Marine.
Now, we had an SCV slip into the main here for MKP into Violet's main base. He sees exactly what's going on, but at this stage in the game, I mean, you're not going to see anything too ordinary, except for the fact that there is no Roach Warren at this point.
Right,
so that's very different than the last 2 games that we've seen.
Yeah, definitely. We do see also fairly fast speed from Violet. He's going to get a Spine Crawler. So this is kind of an interesting point in the game, because some players, when that speed finishes, they'll try and have a whole bunch of Lings out on the map and do some pressure. Some people will just make a few to be safe. Violet is getting a 3rd hatchery in his main. So we are going to see... This looks like a very heavy Speedling build.
Right. Probably going to be see...
Oh, and a Baneling nest.
Oh, okay. So maybe Macro Bane here?
I would guess Keurig-style, high econ Baneling aggression.
Yeah, he still is only on 1 gas, but all you really need is about 450 or 500 for the timing that most Zergs like to hit with this. He does have that Evo chamber up, but it looks like right now it's just for the wall off. Meanwhile, if we go check over at Marineking's base, he is getting a wall off of his own. but only one SCV is building it. Here comes the second one. Did he actually scan and see that? No, he did not. But there's the Baneling Nest finish. And there are the other 4. Oh, wow, he's going all the way to 4 gas now, so he really wants to go very, very high econ Baneling here.
Yeah, so I'm not actually sure this is going to be an aggressive build now.
Because of the 4 gas? Or
yeah, because of the 4 gas. You definitely don't need that much gas to make it work.
Right.
And also, he's getting a second evolution chamber. So you wouldn't be getting that if you were going for that aggression.
Is it possible that he saw the amount of Hellions that were out for Marineking that led him to make that decision?
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was.
Okay.
He was thinking, okay, if my opponent goes bio, I'm just going to go kill him. Then he saw the Hellions, and he's like, okay, I'll just play macro. That's fine.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, we see MKP searching around, see if there is a third base, but will not find it. Violet going up to that lair tech. Bunch of Lings coming out 1-1. Going to be finishing here pretty soon for the Xur player from Team Empire.
Marineking not in a particularly good spot right now. Very behind on upgrades. And Violet has a really strong economy, really good production with those 3 hatcheries. And basically oh, look at how many Banelings he's making at his natural.
Yeah.
If I was going to say, if Violet predicts this pressure and builds a bunch of units in time, he'll have no trouble stopping it.
Right.
And Violet predicted the pressure and built a whole bunch of units in time.
Right.
So he'll have no trouble stopping it.
Yeah, the other scary thing, too, is that the creep is just so far out that even without Baneling speed, these will be able to connect. And here we go, the Lings in the back, making sure that the Lings can't connect. And that attack, he had no trouble stopping it, QXC.
Yeah, who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed that? Maybe
so
I should start talking to myself more in my head, man. Seems to work
I
out
get
for
such
you.
good advice.
So MKP picked up, did save some of those forces there, but now he's got to worry about Violet going across the map with this huge amount of Lings. He does have his wall ready, but only a few Marines really remaining. No Banelings, though, are coming with this. So it looks like he's just testing out his opponent, seeing if there's a third base up.
So we do see Marineking is starting siege tank production, and this is actually the exact same transition that he did in the other games. And we do see, notice how many drones Violet has right now.
Yeah, already up to 71.
Yeah, he's already got enough for full saturation on all 3 bases.
Yeah.
And that's partly because, okay, Marineking does pressure, I stop it, and now I can just build drones. But Marineking's going for a huge drop. I think Marineking feels like he has to do something a little unorthodox here.
Yeah, and there's not that many Banelings here, QXC. I'm not sure if this is going to be stopping. Even a tank landing, if he target fires correctly. Oh, he does.
Some of the Banelings. The thing here is there are a lot of Speedlings, but they do get the tank. The next round of units should be able to clean this up, though. Violet just needs to do damage control. Make sure he doesn't lose too many drones.
He's going for the lair. Is he going to be able to get it?
He can't get the lair.
Yeah.
Get 2 queens there. He's got to transfuse. There's too many units coming out. Better would have been maybe go for the spawning pool or aim for the drones, but the lair just has too much health.
He definitely would have killed the spawning pool, as we see about 1,000 HP. It would have been close there, missing from the lair. But like you said, he did have those transfusions. So that drop was stopped. And I mean, MKP has had everything that he's thrown at Violet so far just completely deflected.
Yeah, and actually, if I was Marineking, what I would like to do, so if we take a look at the 3rd and you just go south just a little bit, you can actually see there's a really nice cliff there, and that is where you want to put tanks. You siege up there, you don't let them break those rocks.
Yeah, you can take out the extractor.
Oh, yeah. And even if you really want to get fancy, you build a couple bunkers up there and kind of hole yourself in. It becomes very, very hard for Zerg to
You're
dislocate
a mean person, QXC. You are a mean person.
I like to abuse terrain. Did you see me in the Yield map tournament?
No, I did not.
Incineration zone against Slush.
We'll have to check it out. We'll have to check it out. So over here, we see a big drop now at the 3rd base 4. Violet's going to be able to chew through that spike column very quickly. But yeah, wow, he's going for a big, I guess, a counterattack for that. But looks like they were so out of place, he will not lose this hatchery. Oh, he might actually lose it. That fungal comes out, though.
Nice.
Had
Very
three balls.
good. This is really fortunate by Marineking. Notice how Violet, if we go to Violet's vision, look at how much vision he has on the left side of the map. There's actually nothing that can get by there. But look at his vision on the right side. There's a big blind spot, and Marineking happened to be able to use that to his advantage. Really, that attack should not have worked.
Right.
It really shouldn't have. Violet has an overwhelming number of speedlings, but Marineking happened to find the hole in his Overlord web.
Yeah, yeah. And there's the Greater Spire coming down. But what is it about this style that so many Terrans just really have a hard time with sometimes, QXE?
So pretty much what it is the only thing that's cost efficient against speedlings are pretty much Hellions and Marines. And people don't like making Hellions, so you rely on Marines. But fungal growth is really, really strong against those Marines. And if the Marines get behind on upgrades, then they're not actually cost efficient against the Zerglings anymore.
Gotcha, gotcha.
And so 2-2 right now, Marineking's got a 1-1. He can't engage this army out in the open. He won't win that battle because he needs the equal upgrades. The siege tanks are kind of helpful, but they're not doing too much for him. They'll help him control the infestors and keep the fungals from getting off, but it's just a very hard battle to win. He really needs to get out of there.
Uh-oh, the Ling's getting into the fight before the siege tanks can get into siege mode, and this attack completely overrun. He's even going to try to get these medevacs up in the air with those infested Terrans, and it looks like he will do so. Supplies are even, but the army supply has got to be in favor of Violet there, as he just traded so few Lings for so many of those Marine Marauders, tanks, and medevacs.
Yeah. And this is actually really strange to me because when I watched Marineking play Curious, I told you he went for Bio Medevac, didn't make tanks at all. And I was like, wow, Marineking, that's really innovative. I really like that. And I started using it. I've been having good success. And now I see Marineking, like, going back to using tanks against this Ling Infestor style. And I don't understand if he forgot that day or he just didn't feel like making tanks. Like, I don't know what happened, because I feel like that's a much more effective style than trying to use those tanks.
UXC, there are so many Broodlords here for Violet. And if we take a look at the unit station, we only see a total of 0 Vikings. But we do have some Thors out, but it's going to be hard pressed. There is only 5 Infestors, and I think only 1 or 2 of them can drop some Fungals. So Marineking might have some success here, but it really comes down to where actually the fight happens, correct?
Yeah, I mean, this is not particularly good for Marineking. He's got a good concave.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
well,
I mean, he's got 1 more fungal to go through, I believe. No, that's actually it. So he can get underneath these Broodlords, but does he have enough Marines? He's stemming forward. Fungal drops, and now he's starting to shoot through the Broodlords. 5 remain. No, excuse me, 6 remain.
The Vikings get there, though.
Yeah.
And there's some Corruptors, more Speedlings. Violet's doing a good job of rallying to this position, but he really needs just more units. But the Marines are all gone. The 2 remaining Broodlords will be able to push on.
Right. And there he goes, picking up the Thors, Thors and tanks. But here comes a huge amount of Lings. More Broodlords being morphed in from those Corruptors. The siege tank up on the high ground, getting a huge amount of kills, but there are the infested Terrans being dropped on it. And right now, you know, this is just a huge slugfest between these 2 players.
Yeah. More Broodlords morphing. He really needs more Corruptors to deal with some of these Medevacs and Vikings. More Speedlings. Notice Violet has started +3 armor. He's not making that same mistake that he made last game, where he's not having any kind of follow-up here when the attack doesn't work. And Marineking cleaning that up a little bit surprising, considering he didn't really have Vikings, but he did have quite a large army.
You know, I almost feel that Violet moved out a little bit too prematurely there. His Infestors did not have the energy to be able to really deliver the Fungals that he needed. Had he have maybe 2, possibly 3 Fungals in that last fight, I think he definitely would have been a completely different outcome than what we saw.
Yeah, and it was a little strange. Violet, he gets those Broodlords and then he just wants to go for the kill, and it's a little strange. He could have gone for this 4th base and probably forced a lift. The attacks where Marineking doesn't have reinforcements, but instead he went for the main, which is the hardest place to break.
So right now, Violet is starting to take the map, as we see over here on the right-hand side of the map, throwing down another hatch, and he's pretty much saying the top of this half, or the top half of this map is mine, Marineking. It's going to be your move, but we'll see as Marineking is going to have something to say about that. As he's moving across the map, he has a lot of Vikings in this army this time around, so it might be a different fight, but he only has a total of 3 tanks, one of them about half HP.
He doesn't have any Marauders, so his army, like 1 or 2 good fungal growths, could be the end here, and here's a big engagement.
Oh, wow, look at the fungals going down on there. All I can see is green here for MKP, but looks like Violet is not going to have enough at this stage. I'm not so sure, as he does not have any fungals left on those infestors. He should just send those back. Instead, he ends up losing 2 of them.
No, and Marineking takes it. That's it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, good game. Marineking taking it. He is the only player here on day 1 of the Spring Arena to go 3-0 in this group. Now, Sheth, Rob, what did you guys think of that final match?
Dude, I think once again that last engagement, right, Sheth and I were both watching, where all of the Broodlords come out, Marineking's kind of backed against the wall, and then again a window of opportunity opened up where like Marineking has almost no units left, but he can just kill the rest of the Broodlords. And I don't know.
In like small amounts, like if you have 4 or 5 Broodlords, they're not going to do the damage themselves. Like as QX, he's probably thinking to himself, yeah, Broodlords don't do the damage, it's the infestors, it's a fungal. And that's why his whole talking about you get 16 medevacs, and then the whole DPS, which is the important thing of a fungal, we just don't care. We just sit there and deal with it. But in this case, it just worked out still because he didn't get that crucial amount of infestors with energy. Like he even threw up some eggs at one point when like that really just didn't help at all. Like they didn't target or focus fire down the Viking.
Yeah, he like landed them next to the tank, and then like 2 other Vikings showed up, but it didn't stop the Vikings.
And again, for upgrades, he got to the 3rd Carapace, but he didn't get Adrenal, I don't think. He didn't get the +3 for melee attack. So he, again, was just banking it all on that sort of push. And another big thing I've noticed that he did that was a pretty big mistake is he always kind of led with the Zerglings.
Right.
And you don't need to lead with the Zerglings. You can just lead with the Broodlords. They'll throw down the Broodlings, and then you can lead with you can come in from the side, come in from behind with the Zerglings.
Then you still have all your fungals too.
Exactly. Like whenever he tries to attack you, just hold him there and you're good.
Yeah. So are you guys at all surprised to see where we see Marineking right now? Day 1, he's in 1st place. We're going in day 2. Tomorrow's really the longest day here at the Spring Arena. Rob, you're not at all surprised. I can see your face over there. You're looking quite smug. You're quite happy with your pick for this.
He called it. He was like, Marineking.
Yeah.
I'm Rob.
I don't know, man. We'll see if he holds up tomorrow, right? Like I'm just sitting here waiting to be wrong that whole time. I thought he was at like there were a couple moments there where I'm sure that everybody in this room would have said, "Oh yeah, no, Marineking's not getting out of this thing 3-0."
Right.
And then he does.
Yeah. Well, we will actually see him right off the start here at the day 2 of the Spring Arena. He goes up against Huck, casted by Tastosis. That'll be going off at 2 p.m. Eastern. QXC, it's been a fun time casting with you, buddy. Let's take a look at the match results here for day 1. Marineking, of course, going 3-0. DRG and Hart 2-1, and then everyone else going 1-2. So tomorrow, 2 players will be taken out of the group play as we go into bracket play on Sunday. And then at the end of tomorrow night, we actually have some 2v2. Here are actually the game results, guys. So there's going to be a lot of... Oh, okay, right there. You can see
Hart
6 and 3.
Marineking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So wow. You guys are surprised by Hart.
A little bit,
it's more surprised just that like when 1st place and not 1st place have the exact same map score. I think that's more the surprise. I mean, Hart's been playing pretty darn well.
Right, right. I believe he 3-0'd Parting, so that might be where...
that's where all those points come from.
Yeah, that's where some of those points are coming from. QXC, as a Terran player, any of these Terran scores surprising to you?
Terran always wins.
Terran always wins. Chef, do you have any good quotes for us over there as a Zerg?
Any good quotes?
Well, I mean, Terran always wins, man. What about some of these Zerg players in here? Are you at all surprised with their results?
A good quote for us Zergs is just Terran always wins. That's a great quote.
Well, there you go, guys. Day 1 of the Spring Arena. Terran, they always win, man.
They always
And that's going to
win.
be how we wrap up the show. Join us tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, with Marineking going up against Huck. Here's the full-on schedule for tomorrow. You can see all the action. It's incredible looking at some of these matchups. Of course, the right-hand side will be on Gameplay 1, which you can check out using the MLG Quad players. So A lot of great matches tomorrow. Marineking will be playing the majority of them on the main stage, going up against MC, DRG, and then Hart later on. MC, I got to say, we don't have a Protoss player here, but he just seems to be playing very, very well this tournament as well. Have you been able to, I think you were actually analyzing some of his games he was in, right?
I watched Gonzi against MC. I watched the replays earlier, and it was interesting. I don't know, MC is a kind of a strange player to watch because I feel like he's very good at doing the things he does, and if his opponent is good enough to stop that, he actually just loses.
Yeah.
Like that's a good way. It's like MC, he's got like this range of skill where he is just on top of things, and when you get outside of there, like bad things happen to him.
That's true. That's true. All right, guys. Well, we will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Marineking going up against Huck. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Day 2 starts at 2 p.m. See you then.